welcome everyone to this very special NRG, an extended NRG if you will, and it's brought to you with Indie Retro News exclusively, a first look at the long-awaited, long-anticipated Amstrad CPC version of the Amiga classic Pinball Dreams. This is amazing, so sit back and relax and watch what the Amstrad can do when it's pushed to the limits. Well, I say that, I don't know if BG Games, the people responsible for this, actually have pushed the system to its limits. Who knows? I feel that they have. The amazing music on this, the graphics, but more so the movement and the gameplay is outstanding. It's not something you would expect on the Amstrad CPC, and here we are with the title screen. Now, check that lovely music out. And these beautiful coloured graphics are wonderfully drawn. It's so reminiscent of the Amiga original, it's quite outstanding. So a couple of years ago they released the preview for this, which was just one of the boards. It was one of the tables, should I say. It was the beatbox table. And I did play that on my channel. I did give that an NRG video, and I'll link that to in the description box in fact. And it was very exciting to see that, and unfortunately the scoring didn't work at the time, and you could only play one board. It was quite limited. Little did we know that we'd have to wait nigh on 2 years, I think. But I tell you what, it's been well worth the wait, because this is amazing. So let's go with ignition board, the ignition table. I keep saying board. I don't know why I keep saying that. It's the ignition table. And here we go. Look at that. And the movement is more noticeable than anything else, how smooth the scrolling is, and the wonderful overscan that they've used as well. We've got full overscan, full screen overscan. The scrolling is just so smooth. It's incredibly smooth. Some of the smoothest, probably the smoothest scrolling I've ever seen on the Amstrad platform. And this isn't on the Plus system either. This is a standard Amstrad CPC 6128 this is on. So you can play this on your hardware. In fact, the BG Games group, I nearly called them the Batman group. I'm so used to calling them the Batman group because that's what they were formerly known as, but their division BG Games has created this. And yeah, it's they recommend that you play it on a real Amstrad, of course, and we will be doing that later on in this video. I will be putting that on my actual 464 with memory expansion and playing it for realsies, as it were. But here it is on emulator. And there's a few things about emulation with this game. BG Games actually do say they recommend an emulator for it. They recommend the Retro Virtual Machine emulator, and I must admit it's a good choice. It's a very good choice to emulate the CPC on this. A couple of other emulators I've tried it on actually kind of struggled with the game. I don't know the underlying reasons for that. I think it might be something to do with the overscan technique that they've used. So that was the ignition board, lovely, colourful. The music is really deep in that, fantastic stuff. Like I said, playability on all the tables is second to none. The physics on the ball is absolutely spot on. Like they say in the little scrolling thing underneath here, the first real pinball simulator for the Amstrad. And you can't disagree with that statement. You really can't disagree with that statement at all. Especially after years ago playing the Beatbox demo preview, as it were, to actually see the full game in its glory is pretty amazing stuff. And I'm very privileged actually to get to play this for the first time, to have a full working version of it. So extremely privileged. So thank you very much, BG Games, for that. So let's load in the steel wheel. Love this table. The detailing is amazing. I tell you what. Especially when you incorporate the audio. When you're talking about the audio, you've got the sound effects and the music with it. Music matching with the scoring, the sound effects. It's absolutely incredible stuff. The movement is just it's just so fluid. There's no tearing at all in this. They've used a very clever blurring effect there to get the scrolling so smooth. And then you've got these real very realistic ball physics. I love the way you can. This is the first pinball game I've ever played, pinball computer video game, pinball simulation I've ever played, where you can actually use the bump function and actually work. Because a lot of the time the bump function never seems to do anything, but you hit the space bar on this, you can bump the table and you can actually rescue the ball in some instances. So It's the first time that's ever happened on any pinball game I've ever played on. Certainly on the Amstrad. Didn't work that time though, did I? Forgot to bump the machine, didn't I? Silly old Nova bug. So anyway, like I was saying, some of the Amstrad emulators out there can kind of struggle with this. I tried this on WinApe and I've tried this on Java CPC as well. And both of them kind of threw up a little bit errors, should I say. WinApe actually blurs some of the stills in it, and it also makes the music a little bit gritty, kind of breaking occasionally, but not majorly. But more so with WinApe, the scrolling seems to start juttering. It's like frame skipping a bit, which is a very, very big shame, because obviously WinApe is one of the most popular Amstrad emulators out there. But it does sort of like jutter around on the scrolling, which is a bit of a pity. The second emulator I tried, which was Java CPC, that fared well on the scrolling. It did a little bit of frame skipping here and there, but not a great deal. Unfortunately, the still images, especially the title screen, corrupted when loading it up, and I tried it several times on Java CPC. So both of them do work, and you can play the game on both of them emulators, but not to the fullest potential. So I do recommend the Retro Virtual Machine to play this on emulator, but the best way to play this game, of course, is on a real Amstrad. And like I said, in a few minutes I'm going to stop waffling, you're going to watch the rest of the tables on the emulator, and we're going to cut to the real machine itself and watch it play for realsies, like I said earlier. I've already made that gag, haven't I? And it wasn't funny in the first place. So now we're going to play Beatbox. I love that. I love that title music. That is so reminiscent of the Amiga. That menu music there between tables. Fantastic stuff. It's very quick loading this as well. It's not a long load at all. And you'd think of something which is so intense, and you can imagine taking up quite a lot of processor space, and I don't know, I am not, like I say, I'm not a programmer, so I'm not au fait with all that kind of stuff. I only know the basics. I'm absolutely fascinated with the way they've managed to get this work. So I love the scoreboard at the top. It's something that's very nuanced and not very noticeable, but the scoreboard is extremely accurate for an LCD sort of display. That's a brilliant simulation, the way it ticks over with different scores and the way it flashes and moves on like the attract sequence mode and stuff like that. Really clever stuff. Like I said, there's not a one aspect of this game that I can find fault with. Its sound is... oh, let me bump that. Oh, nearly got the bump. That was so close to getting the bump there. Like I said, the scrolling is absolutely unbelievably superb. Probably the best aspect of it. The responses, the flippers respond so quickly. Great to touch. Works on keys, of course, this does. The ball physics are just out of this world. It's like a real... Honestly, it's like a real pinball machine. You'd be forgiven to think that it wasn't. I know I sound like I'm hyping it up a lot, but outside of more powerful systems that play pinball simulator games, I've never played anything on the Amstrad, as I've already said, like this, and I don't think anything on the other 8-bits could even compare to something like this. Just incredible stuff. So the colour palettes used, just absolutely excellently choiced, really good. Lovely effects, animation going on, lots of action. That's the thing, a lot of pinball games suffer from the fact that it's very static on screen. This is not at all static. It's everything, there's something going on everywhere. There's flashing lights, movement, obviously the table moving the way it does, the ball physics and the shading. Everything is absolutely brilliant, accompanied by excellent soundtracks across the boards. That's a really bad pun, isn't it? But across the boards, all the soundtracks are absolutely brilliant. All reminiscent of the Amiga originals, of course. Based off the Amiga originals. And yeah, they sound excellent. They sound the AY chip is singing and dancing. Obviously, it's not going to rival the Paula chip in the same sort of sense. But you get the real feel of the game via the AY chip in this sense, and it's again an astonishing achievement. Everything in this game is astonishing achievement. So I'm going to stop waffling now. I think I've praised this game enough, and I'd like to say thank you again to BG Games for giving me access to this early doors, and of course to Indie Retro News for getting the scoop on this, for securing the scoop, as it were. Very corporate, aren't we? Not really. But when this game is released to everyone, you've got to get it. You've definitely got to get it. This is a game changer when it comes to what can be done on the Amstrad CPC. And it's astounding to think it's taken until 2019 35 years after the machine's first release, to see something that's... I mean, we've seen many games that have pushed the Amstrad to a lot of potential and have produced some excellent games. This is something that makes the Amstrad feel like it's not an Amstrad. You don't feel like you're playing this on an Amstrad. And it gets even more surreal when you put it on an actual Amstrad and play it and you think, am I really playing this kind of quality game on an Amstrad CPC? You bet your arse you are. Damn right you are. So, I'll be quiet now. I'll let you enjoy the rest of the emulation. And then shortly we'll cut to me in the bug loft playing Pinball Dreams on an actual Amstrad CPC. Thanks for watching, and please do continue to watch. So here is the actual hardware with, I don't know if you can see that because it's very bright, Pinball Dreams is loaded into the DDI3. I've got my DK-Tronic 64K memory expansion working again, which is great. Thank you, Zoe, for helping me with that. So we're just going to line up there and play it on original hardware. This is how the BG Games, should I say, not the BG Group. See, I'm so stuck to calling them the Batman Group still. This is how they recommend you play it on a real Amstrad with a real Amstrad monitor. So here goes. And I reckon this is going to be absolutely amazing. Probably one of the most amazing things you've seen on an Amstrad. That just looks incredible. The smoothness of that scrolling is insane. Never seen scrolling that smooth on an Amstrad. I apologise for the flicker. This is a Normal camera, obviously video in a CRT, so it will flicker a bit, but absolutely incredible. Unbelievable. This is absolutely sterling work from BG Games. Well worth the wait. Look at the full overscan there. What? Look at this full overscan. Smoothness of it. The graphics, the colours, it just looks fantastic. Yeah, it does look better on the CRT, I've got to admit, in real life. It looks incredible. So we'll play Ignition, I think. We'll play Ignition just to show you this is amazing work, and possible contender for Game of the Year, Game of 2019 already, even before all the other games have come out. This is just incredible. I've never seen scrolling that smooth on the Amstrad. I mean, I said this in my preview video of Pinball Dreams on the Amstrad. The scrolling was incredible, but to fit all the music, all the scrolling, all four boards with all the intros as well and everything. This is I've played the Amiga version, and you know what? There's nothing missing. There's nothing missing. It's just insanely amazing. Cannot believe it. How good it is. The movement of that ball, the movement of the ball, the movement of the scrolling, the sound with the effects as well. I've never seen anything this polished. I mean, I've seen some polished Amstrad games, seriously. This has got to take the cake with the amount of work that's gone into this. It's lovely to see Pinball Dreams on the Amstrad. I did a video on pinball games on the Amstrad not a while back, a live stream in fact, and this is by far and away the best. You can't argue with it. I could play this for hours, I swear to you. We're going to look at all the boards on the real camera, on the real hardware, just to show you exactly how they look in this exclusive first look video. With Indie Retro News, of course. This is fantastic to Neil Green for getting the exclusive on this. Amazing work. So we'll quit out of that. We will quit. And we'll try another board. Maybe we'll try Beatbox, see what Beatbox looks like. That music. Oh, that title music is... it's brilliant. This is just wonderful. Wonderful work. I'm so glad I got it. I got my DDR3 working again with the memory expansion. The music is just epic as well. Oh! Saved it! Beautiful. Oh, look at that up there at the top. Incredible. So yeah, oh, Gutterball. I tell you what, when this gets released, it's going to be. If you could give an 11 out of 10 for a game, you've got to give it to this. It's just outstanding. They said that Shadows of Surgoth last year was a game changer, a paradigm shift. I think CPC reviews described it as. I think it was one of the reviewers, yeah. But this is another step up into the capabilities of the Amstrad. I can't imagine what the plus version of this would be like. Imagine if there was a plus version of this as well, with all the extra things that you could do with the plus, with the extra colour palettes and everything else. It's just insanely good. So fluid, it's so responsive. I'm having chills how good this is. Sorry, I know it's pretty sad, but let's quit out. let's go out and play a steel wheel. Let's finish with steel wheel. Have a go at steel wheel. Finish with steel wheel. And I think that's where we'll wrap this video up. This exclusive of Pinball Dreams by the by BG Games, should I say. Oh, I keep wanting to call them the Batman Group still, because they were born out of the Batman Group, of course. BG Games. So let's play steel wheel. So playing beatbox on its own in the preview version was fantastic. Now to have all 4 boards, yeah, play this on emulator, play this on real hardware, get it on your bloody HXC, or get it on your GoTech, or whatever you've got hooked up to your Amstrad. Get it. You've got to do it. It's got to be done. It's one of those things that's got to be done. The effects are so good. Oh, that was straight through the car. That wasn't good, was it? Oh, nearly. That sound. That was brilliant. Hey, up she goes. Just enjoy this for the moment. Just enjoy it. Just watch and enjoy it. And I'm very, very honoured and blessed to have this so early. Oh, that kind of silence sums it up, doesn't it, at the end there? Oh, I got the bonus there. Hey! Right, I'm finishing now. Amazing. Absolutely incredible stuff. So yeah, Pinball Dreams on the Amstrad. I can't say anything else really. Outstanding work on all fronts. Graphically, visually, gameplay. All the audio is superb. It's amazing, and I would just love to see a plus version of this. Imagine if you could fit this onto Jigsaw 1000. That'd be epic. Now, you probably have to cut it down a bit. I don't know what you would do. I'm not a programmer, I'm not a specialist in that kind of thing, as I've said before, but my word, if BG Games did that, if BG Games managed to, they've probably, I know they've spent years and years on this anyway, but they spent, I don't know how long it would take to convert it for the plus machines as well. That would be outstanding. I mean, you can play on the plus machines, of course you can, but Pinball Dreams on the Amstrad CPC, incredible stuff. Thank you for watching this NRG extended exclusive video. So this is all thanks to NRG Retro News as well, of course. Nova Bug, out.